Hey everybody, I am Victoria, and today I'll be sharing with you about our Tri-Synergy Counseling Wellness Intensives, which are truly a modern path to rapid transformation. So, a little bit about me before we jump in is that I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm a parent coach and an ADHD coach, a lens neurofeedback provider, and I'm the owner and clinical operational director of Tri-Synergy Counseling. I have been in private practice slash group practice business for about 8 years. I specialize in providing therapy services for children, teens, and wellness services, children, teens, families, and women. And I'm also a nationally approved supervisor for a marriage and family therapist. And I am 4 levels of brain spotting trained. And when I'm not working in my profession, I really love and enjoy spending time with my family. I have 3 kids. I'm a lover of writing and Latin dancing and nature, camping, all the things that are fun. So let's jump right in, guys, into an intensive. I have been providing therapy services for 10 years, and I started doing wellness intensives about, 4 years ago, maybe. And it has transformed my clients' work. And so it's something that I know works really well. And I get to share that with you guys today. So, wellness intensives, really reclaiming your energy, clear that mental fog, and reset your nervous system in days and not years. So, let's jump into it. What is a wellness intensive? And it really is something that's beyond the traditional model of mental health and wellness. And so it's a wellness intensive really is a super concentrated, laser focused, goal oriented experience that is designed to accelerate your personal growth, your nervous system regulation, and your healing. Bottom line. What's different and unique about it, it's intensive, right? It's an intensive experience because it's more than 50 minutes or 60 minutes or a 30-minute check in. It is 3 hours up to 6 hours, which is a full day, up to 3 days or several more days of laser focused work with intentionality to help you really work towards the desire that you want as far as your mental wellness. It's customized and specifically tailored to your body, your brain, your nervous system, and your personal history. It really is a holistic service. What I do is I integrate brain spotting, which you hear me say that a lot, and I'll talk to you about what that is. It's kind of like my secret sauce that I want everyone to know about. But it utilizes integrating brain spotting, sand tray, therapy, expressive arts, somatic intervention, mindfulness, and so much more to really get that combined holistic healing and transformation that we want so badly. So let's go back and talk about why weekly therapy sessions or weekly services just may not be cutting it. Now, I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I do still see a current caseload, small caseload of one-on-one individuals for mental health counseling. But because I know how much my intensive system works, I've really moved into doing more intensives. And so here's the difference. So this isn't me saying therapy doesn't work. And if you had a therapy experience, it was really great. Awesome. You get to explore new ways to promote your healing and your transformation. And if you had therapy services for a long time that weren't so great, it might have just been not the right fit for what you needed, right? So let me tell you why. So oftentimes weekly therapy sessions are either 45 minutes up to 60 minutes, and it's often just not enough time to go in there deep and really target, laser focus these areas that are triggers that are the biggest reason why we're struggling, right? So typically in your weekly therapy session, you're getting like a 5 to 10 minute fun check-in. You might talk with your therapist about logistics and scheduling or maybe paying or schedule changes, whatever, right? And then you jump into that crisis of the week processing or what's been going on with you. And during that time, you might work on some mindfulness or meditation. You might work on rewiring or changing the way that you think about things. If you have a great therapist, they'll help you ask the right questions and help you make connections and help you with your insights and things like that, which are all wonderful and helpful things. And then you get about 10 minutes to actually do the trauma work or the work on the anxiety triggers, if they even know how to work with that stuff, right? Um, and then there's the goodbye, see you later, maybe some more logistical scheduling pieces as well, right? And so it's over. The time is over, right? It goes by so fast, and you repeat that cycle week after week, and maybe it goes on for years. So this isn't me saying you need to replace your therapist. Therapy is great for prevention. It's great for skill building, coping skills, and it's great for healing. But these intensives are extended periods, so you can go a lot deeper with more accurate, laser focused, precision with tools that are actually designed to help your brain, body, and nervous system, your soul, the whole package holistically be able to process and have transformation. So let's go a little bit deeper about beyond the traditional model. So traditional therapy, I talked about, it's a long-term clinical relationship, right? You're looking at weekly sessions, months, and maybe years, right? And what we're focusing on with traditional therapy is, right, we're providing a mental health diagnosis or examining if there is a mental health diagnosis. We're focused on pathology, right? You're having symptoms, distress that are not servicing you. We're creating a treatment plan, right? Sessions are 45 to 55 minutes, right? And the focus is usually on prevention, right? Or management of symptoms. And then there's a slow, steady process, right? So a wellness intensive, instead of the long-term clinical relationship, it's short-term based transformation. And we're focusing not on diagnosing or providing a diagnosis. Rather, it's a well-being focus, holistic well-being focus, where we're focusing on learning what have been your adaptations, how have you been surviving through these difficult experiences that you've had, and we're working on learning what those adaptations have been and how they've been functioning, and then building resiliency through the somatic work, the brain spotting, and the extended time to really get under the hood and really locate the issue, locate the trigger, and bring some resolution to it so that you are having better responses, right? It's a concentrated block of time, 3 hours to 3 to 5 days, focusing on resolving nervous system blocks or triggers or unhelpful core beliefs, anxiety, trauma, grief, and more. And it's a rapid, accelerated process, right? So remember, I have to reiterate that it's not an established therapy or clinical relationship like it is for traditional model. So, what's the TSC Wellness Intensive experience now that you know what it is? Well, first, there's what happens first, right? There's a 20-minute discovery call if you want to learn more information and you're just not sure if it's the right fit for you. And then for individual one-on-one services, there'll be a 45-minute wellness call where we're setting you up for success for the intensive, right? So that's where I'm learning more about what are your triggers, what is the biggest issue, right? And what resources do you already have as coping skills right now, and a few things that you can learn to get yourself ready for this intensive experience. There's no assessment like a traditional where we're assessing, looking for pathology or diagnosis. There's no diagnosing. And then there's your wellness time, whichever wellness intensive time that you allocated, the 3 hours, the 6 hours, or the multiple days, right? You also get your wellness workbook that is customized for you and your situation. And that's for pre-intensive prep. That's getting you ready for your big intensive day or days. And then there's some post-intensive guidance on that in that workbook. And then you have a post-intensive meeting usually about 1 week out from your intensive. And that's going to focus on recapping your post processing, what's changed, your transformation, your celebration, and any other wellness support you might need, shifting out of a worry mindset or whatnot. So, what is our TSC Wellness Intensive experience specifically, right? So, remembering that it's different from counseling, you're not going to receive any form of formalized mental health screening or assessments or diagnosis because it's not therapy. And it's really for those that are stuck maybe in a worry loop about job performances, or because I do this with teenagers 16 and older, maybe there's school performance issues or struggle with confidence issues, worry about trying new things or what, or different worries, a desire to really change the way you believe about yourself if you're thinking about yourself in a negative way and struggling with confidence issues or negative mindsets, right? Or maybe you've been in therapy for a really long time and you still feel stuck, or you have other issues like trauma and grief, right? And so, what they are is in a wellness intensive, they're broke up in segments of 90 minutes. And then there's a break, a little bit of small break, and then another 90-minute period. So that's the 3 hours. And then there's extended, and that's where we're going to experience the brain spotting, the sand tray, the somatic experiencing tools, a little bit of coping skills and grounding, some expressive arts and journaling. So that's what you kind of experience during that time. And then, if you choose a wellness experience intensive that is more than 3 hours, we repeat the process in the next 3 hour block or for the next several days, right? So, you can do this one on one, or you can do this in a group experience. And they're really not, a wellness intensive isn't for someone who might have a mental health or wellness, struggle that could be, for example, like a mental health crisis, or you're having suicidal thoughts, or you are dealing with schizophrenia or DID, right? So, dissociative identity disorder. So, the wellness intensive is not suitable for those type of experiences. And if you're not sure, set up a discovery call and we can talk through it. And I can lead you in the right direction. So, we've got the somatic processing, we've got the brain spotting, the sand tray therapy, meditation and mindfulness, emotional freedom tapping, the expressive arts, and the therapeutic journaling, right? Or intensive journaling. So, what's our special rapid transformation sauce, as I like to say? The brain spotting, the somatic experiencing, alongside our other modalities that I have combined for the best resolution or transformation support in an intensive. But the number one special sauce, though, all those modalities are evidence based and they've been researched to work really well. But the biggest special sauce is you and your desire to heal and your body's ability to heal itself with the right facilitation. So let's deep dive a little bit more on brain spotting, because that is the number one thing that I use with all of my clients, whether they're in intensives or whether they are in just traditional therapy model. So brain spotting, what is it, right? So I've got this picture here of me using a pointer, brain spotting pointer. Brain spotting taps into your body's ability, the innate ability to heal, to reduce and eliminate the impact of unresolved trauma, negative or unhelpful beliefs, emotional distress, worry, stress, negative thinking, low confidence. If you're stuck in grief and pain and you feel paralyzed by grief, another powerful way for brain spotting is to help through that as well. It was founded and developed by a former EMDR therapist. He is still a therapist, but he was initially started off as EMDR therapist. And his name is Dr. David Graham. And he's been doing brain spotting's been around since about 23 years, I believe. And it's based on the idea that whatever's happening inside our brain, our body, our nervous system is directly related to where we focus our eyes. So, to quote Dr. Grant, where you look affects how you feel. Brain spotting or brain spots are areas of the brain, the nervous system, and the nervous system that contain specific emotions, thoughts, feelings, experiences, memories. And these areas are often locked away and they're difficult to access, but they keep showing up. The response of these locked away areas or unprocessed areas are showing up in our life day by day. And they can hold painful, uncomfortable, unhelpful feelings or memories that we struggle to resolve. And it's these unresolved experiences, unintegrated from the past, that continue to affect us in the present time. So let's dive in about how brain spotting actually works. So it really accesses the survival brain in a way that just talking or talk therapy or psychotherapy does not allow for. Um, so talk therapy mostly engages in your neocortex, the thinking brain, the rational, logical brain. And brain spotting uses your visual field to find the spot, right? That bypasses the logical thinking brain and goes directly into your midbrain, brainstem / nervous system connection, that nonverbal part of your brain. And this is where your flight or fight response, or flight, freeze, and fawn responses can be stored. And it allows us to reach that root of the cycle rather than just the symptom management, right? And so it processes unfiled stress, trauma, anxiety, grief, and more. So when we experience the stress or the trauma or anxiety that we can get stuck in the nervous system and our brain, our body, it's like an unfinished file on a computer. And what brain spotting does, it creates a focused state of mindfulness that allows the brain, the body, the nervous system to finally file that information away, integrate it, so that it's no longer triggering our automatic emotional reaction or our adaptations that we've adapted to survive or to get through, or that we've learned, right, in our daily life, that's negatively impacting the way that we live day to day, right? And so that's what the beauty and the powerful work of brain spotting, which is also a somatic mindfulness modality. So brain spotting also helps heal the nervous system. And so, because our intensives allow for time and space for longer laser focused processing, brain spotting allows for deep, sustained processing. So, this isn't just that temporary venting session, and we're working on thinking about the way that we thought about it, and reframing our thoughts, and using coping skills, which is all great. Rather, this is an opportunity to invitation for our brain, our nervous system, our body to reorganize itself and heal. By holding that spot of distress when we're looking with our eyes, we allow our nervous system to move from a state of chaos, stress, anxiety, trauma, or rigidity back to a flow of resiliency, peace, less reactivity, more confidence, better sleep, less panic, less, negative thinking. So you really get to feel this transformation. So, closing the open tabs of our nervous system. So when we experience stress, trauma, or chronic anxiety, it can get stuck in the nervous system like an unfinished file or a browser tab left open in the background. Right? So we talked about this. And what the brain spotting creates a focused state of mindfulness that allows your brain and body to finally integrate that information, file it away, and almost like reboot it or upgrade it, update it to new data to where it's not as triggering, right? And the result is we get to save and close those background tabs so they're no longer draining our battery or triggering automatic, unhelpful emotional reactions in our daily life, causing us distress, guys. So here's a real world example. Although I would protecting my clients, I always make sure that I'm not using identifiable information, or I may think of a client and use a portion or example of a summary of their situation that, of course, asking a client's permission. So a lot of my examples are taken from other, real life situations that many people have dealt with or felt like. So let's look at Sarah. So Sarah is this high achiever, grew up in a home where she had to walk on eggshells. And today, when her boss sends a short email, or maybe her partner is extra quiet, so then her nervous system perceives it's at a threat, right? So there's the trigger. And then her chest starts to tighten, her mind starts racing, and she's spending hours over functioning to feel safe, right? And then she's running through the situation through her head, constantly worrying about it. And the toll that she's experiencing from it is she feels exhausted. She's irritated. She can't turn off the thoughts at night. That old file is still running in the background, draining her processing power and her ability to enjoy the present moment with her children and her partner or whatever it is that she's doing at the time. So it makes it very challenging, right? So let's imagine now that Sarah has participated in an intensive. So now what she gets to experience is the transformation, the integration process. Because during our intensive, we locate that spot where Sarah's body, her brain, her nervous system is holding that tightness in her chest, which she talked about, right? We aren't just talking. We're allowing her brain, her body, her nervous system to finally process and archive, update, right? That old data, that experience she had that shaped the way that she sees the world, right? From her childhood when she grew up in an environment where she had to walk on eggshells, right? So the integrated outcome is that next time a coworker, after she's done this intensive, the next time a coworker is brief, Sarah stays calm, right? Or maybe the next time her husband is, kind of quiet with her, she notices it, right? But she's not hooked by it. She's not driven by it. Now her battery is full, right? Because her brain isn't wasting all that energy on open tabs and, her nervous system constantly seeking and scanning the environment for danger. No, it's more relaxed. She's got more patience for her kids and for her work and for her partner. She's more focused. She can get through the things that she needs to. So the result is that memory it remains a part of her history still, but it no longer dictates her present actions, right? Her presence, the way she's living right now. She moves from that reactive survival adaptation that she had learned and needed for so long and carried to an intentional living where she's feeling more calm, more relaxed, more regulated, and happier. That's in a nutshell our intensives, the way that we use brain spotting and the powerful transformation that you can experience through brain spotting. So here are our current intensive offerings. We've got the one-on-one customized intensives for anxiety relief, trauma relief, grief support, and more. We have a 3-hour option, 6-hour, or several days. 6 hours are a full day. There is a break for lunch, and then, of course, little mini breaks throughout the intensive chunk, each 3-hour chunk. And then we have, and this is great for ages 16 and up. And then we have a one time a month anxiety relief group, virtual group for women that is open all the way through the year. It's scheduled one time a month, except for me as the lead intensive provider. I take 2 months off or several times in the summertime to be with my family. And so during those times, there are no intensive services or therapy services during those times. And if you're interested in more brain spotting, but you're not ready yet for an intensive, no problem. We've got some other options. So you can check out our 6-week anxiety relief brain spotting service for individuals. Those, instead of going 3 hours, you get to experience brain spotting and support for anxiety relief for 90 minutes per session for 6 weeks. So you get to dip your toe in there, right? And then if that doesn't seem like a good fit for you, we also have, if you're pregnant and you really want a nervous system support and healing so that you can really grow your baby in the first environment it'll ever know is inside your womb, inside your body, then you can check out our one-on-one pregnancy resiliency series. Or we also have our pregnancy resiliency 12-week brain spotting group that starts in August. So we have 2 offerings there. But you may use the QR code here to sign up, or you can visit our website and click on the service of your choice. And here you can have access to our website. And that way you can register. Your first step would be to fill out an interest form. And that keys us, our team, to know exactly what you're looking for and what you want to do next so that we can get you in there right away. I cannot wait to serve you and for you to get to experience the power and transformation of intensives and brain spotting. I hope to service you soon.